This is the math lesson for Wednesday, May 13th. Today we're going to work on tally marks. These are the materials that you will need for today's lesson. You will need your farmer's market worksheet and a pencil. Make sure that you have all your materials before you begin. So press pause, gather your materials, and then press play once you're ready. Okay, boys and girls, here we are looking at our farmer's market worksheet. And we are going to help the farmer record how many vegetables he grew in the table below. First, we're going to count how many each type of vegetable that the farmer has, and we're going to mark it in the table. And then we're going to write that in number form. Okay, now if you remember, when we were in class, we used to count things. We would take votes on things about who liked chocolate or who liked dogs and who liked cats or who liked chocolate, who liked vanilla, or which fruit people the kids in the class liked better. And we used to, let me switch my pens here, we used to do things on the board called tally marks. I'm sure you remember when we used to make marks and we used to count for every person. We would make a mark, and every time we would get to 5, we would make a mark across, right? And we knew that when we had one group like that, that there was 5 in there, right? I know you guys remember that. Tell me you remember that, right? Okay, good. All right. So in this graph, we are going to use tally marks, okay? And that's what it says right here where I just highlighted. It says tally marks. All right. To the left of that, it says type of vegetable. All right. And underneath that, or below that, we have 4 different kinds of vegetables. We have cabbage. Below that is tomato. Below that one is bell pepper. And then the last one is onion. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go back up into the group of vegetables that the farmer has right up in there that I just circled. Okay, and we are going to make a tally mark for each category of a vegetable. So, for example, let me change pens, and we're going to start right here with our cabbage. So we're going to look for every type of vegetable that looks like that. We're going to look for every cabbage. All right, so I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to cross that one off so I know I counted that one, and I'm going to make a tally mark for it. Then I'm going to come back up. Oh, there's another cabbage. Let me mark that one off and make another tally mark. Let's find, oh, there's another one. Cross it off. Make another tally mark. Keep finding all of the cabbage. There's another one. And now I'm up to 4. And now, oh, one more. All right, now remember, I'm not going to put a 5th tally mark. This is number 5, so I need to make a mark across. Okay, so next we're going to do tomatoes. Okay, so the tomatoes look like that. You know what a tomato looks like. Little red vegetable. All right, so here we go. Here's a tomato. Make a tally mark. All right, I want you to do that for all your tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second, give you a minute to do that for all your tomatoes. All right, I circled all 6 of my tomatoes up there. You see that? All 6 of them are circled, so I have how many tally marks underneath or next to the tomatoes? 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, and then 6. So I have 6. All right, now we're going to do bell peppers, and the bell peppers look like that. It's kind of a yellow looking pepper. All right, they look like this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes across, 5, 6, and 7. All right, now last we have our onion, right? And our onion is a little round, brown looking, almost kind of looks like a potato, doesn't it? But it's an onion. All right, so let's go back up and count all of our onions. I'm going to put a line through it because I almost think it's a little bit easier. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so we have 6 onions. Let's come down here and draw tally marks for onions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, our 5th one goes across. 5, and 1 more. All right, so now we need to come over here to our end row, all the way over here to the right where it says number. Okay, and we're going to fill in the number. How many pieces of cabbage did he have? How many pieces of cabbage did the farmer have? How many tally marks did you have there? Well, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that, right? And then the 1 across means 5. So make sure that you write the number 5 over here all the way to the right, underneath where it says number. All right, the next one below that is the tomatoes. How many did we have here? We know that that group together with the slant across it, right? We know that's 5. So 5 and 1 more, 6. That's right. So go ahead and make sure that you write your number 6 over there because that's the total number of tomatoes that you have. All right, move down to the bell peppers. And we know right here we have how many is that group? That tally group together is 5. So 5 and 2 more. 5 and count on 5, 6, 7. So over here, write your number of bell peppers, which is 7. All right, and your last one down here are those onions. All right, and remember that one group there with the 1 across it, slanting across it, tells us that there's 5 in that group. So 5 and 1 more is 6. That's right. So go ahead and write your number 6 over there in the number column of your graph. All right, so now we finished filling in our graph. I hope that your graph looks a little bit nicer than mine. I tried that pen mouse and it didn't work so well, so I did better with this. So now that we filled in our graph, I'm going to come down here and we have 1, 2, 3 questions to answer, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and answer those questions about what what kind of fruit or how many and how great, or I'm sorry, how few, and which of the most vegetables the farmers had. All right, so let's start with number 1. And number 1 says, what vegetable does the farmer have the fewest of? Okay, what vegetable does the farmer have the fewest of? And remember the word fewest. What does fewest mean? Fewest means biggest or smallest, least. So is it the biggest, the most, or the smallest, the least? The fewest vegetables. All right, so look up here and see which number shows the fewest, which group shows the fewest amount, the fewest number, and copy that that vegetable. I'm going to tell you the one that has the fewest is cabbage, because that one only has 5 pieces. There was only 5 pieces of cabbage. So you should write, let me do it in a different color. I'm going to highlight it in orange up here. You should write this one right here. The cabbage for number 1 is cabbage. You should write right there on number 1. Right, because that one was the smallest number, because fewest means smallest, right? All right, let's take a look at number 2. And number 2 says, what vegetable does he have the most of? And you know what most means, right? So come over here and see which one has the biggest number, right? Because most means the biggest. And I'm going to give you a hint. What you're going to copy from these up here and right down here is not just one word, it's 2 words. And the first word is something that you can ring. So can you ring a cabbage, a tomato, or can you ring a bell pepper? All right, which vegetable has the most? And for number 3, right down here, how many vegetables does the farmer have in total? So, have in total. Now, this might be a little tricky. Let's see if you guys can do this, all right? We take these numbers all down here, all right? And you should have, let's see, you should have a 5, a 6, a 7, and another 6. And you add them together and see how many he had all together. Or you can count all your vegetables up there and see how many he has all together. Or you can double check by counting all your vegetables up there on the top and trying to add your numbers over there together and seeing if you got it right. All right, once you finish with this, your math is all done for the day. Make sure you've done your other assignments, and if so, then you're finished. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.